The dark void of space was silent. But on the edge of the galaxy, a small ship drifted slowly toward Earth. It was battered and scarred, a ghost among the stars. Inside, the last survivors of a dying world prayed for mercy. Commander Talar looked out at the stars through the cracked viewport. His eyes were heavy with sorrow and fear. His home planet Virush had been destroyed by the ruthless Voraks. The Voraks were a warlike species, spreading death and fire wherever they went. Talar's people had nowhere left to run. "We must reach Earth," Talar whispered. "They are our last hope." On Earth, the news of the approaching ship spread quickly. The world watched with growing unease. Who were these desperate travelers? What did they want? In the council chambers, leaders gathered to discuss the arrival. Counselor Reed spoke first. "We have received their message. They beg for help. They say the Voraks will destroy them all." General Hart leaned forward, eyes sharp. "We can help them, or we can use this moment to show our strength. The galaxy respects power." A quiet murmur spread through the room. Meanwhile, on the battered ship, the survivors prepared to land. Children huddled in corners. Elders prayed quietly. Soldiers checked their weapons. A young girl, Mira, clung to her mother's hand. Her wide eyes reflected the stars outside. "Will Earth help us?" she asked softly. Her mother hugged her. "Tight. I pray they do." As the ship entered Earth's atmosphere, radar stations lit up. Fighter jets scrambled to intercept, but instead of firing, the jets formed a protective escort. On the ground, crowds gathered to watch. The world held its breath. The ship landed. In a remote desert, Talar stepped out, his face weathered but determined. He raised his voice for all to hear. "People of Earth, we come in peace. Our world is lost. We ask only for sanctuary and aid." Silence fell, but not all welcomed the desperate aliens. Groups protested, fearing invasion. Others whispered of hidden dangers. The media exploded with questions. Was this a trap? Could Earth afford to help? Or would this bring war to their door? Inside the Earth Council, the debate grew fierce. "Show mercy," one leader urged. "We must be the galaxy's light in darkness." General Hart's voice rose, steady and cold. "The Voraks have no mercy. Why should we?" Meanwhile, Talar met with Earth's leaders. His story was desperate and clear. The Voraks destroy everything. They show no mercy. If Earth does not stand with us, you will be next. A council member asked, "Why come to us? Why not fight?" Talar's eyes burned with truth. "Because you are strong." As talks continued, Earth secretly prepared. Hidden shipyards buzzed with activity. Weapons were tested. Soldiers drilled day and night. They were not just waiting to help. They were preparing to fight. Outside the city, she dreamed of peace but feared the coming storm. Her mother whispered, "We must trust Earth. It is all we have left." And in the dark spaces beyond, the Voraks watched too. Their war machines roared to life. Their message was clear. No mercy. No surrender. The galaxy was about to burn. The message from Earth was clear and loud. "We will protect our allies," the human leaders declared, "but we will not be pushed aside." Across the galaxy, transmissions buzzed. Aliens listened closely. Desperate refugees from Virush were given shelter, but the humans did not stop there. They sent a strong warning to the Voraks. Surrender now, or face total destruction. On the bridge of the Resolute, Captain Mara stood tall. Her ship was sleek, armed with the latest weapons. She stared at the star map. The Voraks fleet was vast and dangerous. "Send the message again," she ordered. "Let them know Earth is ready." The hologram flickered. A human diplomat's voice filled the room. "This is Earth. We demand the Voraks end your attacks immediately. Failure to do so will bring war to your doorstep." On the Voraks' homeworld, the message reached Emperor Jarkhan. His face was twisted with anger and pride. "How dare they?" he growled. "They think they can stop us with words. No, we will crush them." Back on Earth, alien diplomats begged for peace. JALEN. An ambassador from a peaceful race called the Elorians met with human leaders. "Please," he said, "there is still a chance for peace. The Vorax fear Earth's power, but violence will only bring ruin." Human leader Counselor Reed nodded slowly. "We want peace, but we cannot be weak." Behind closed doors, Earth's military commanders prepared for war. New warships were launched. Packed with plasma cannons and shield generators, soldiers trained relentlessly. AI systems were tested, ready to control the battlefield with speed and precision. But to the outside world, Earth sent a different message. Speakers in crowded cities. Broadcast calls for unity and calm. "We stand for peace," the president said on every screen. "But we will protect our home." In the deserts where the refugees lived, Mira watched the sky. Fighter jets flew overhead, a symbol of hope and power. Her mother whispered, "Earth will save us." Far beyond the Vorax War Council gathered. "Earth's warning is a challenge," Sharkan declared. "We will respond with fire." Tension grew. The galaxy waited. Would Earth's warning stop the Vorax? Or would it ignite a war no one could stop? The night sky above the outer colony burned bright with explosions. Vorax warships surged through space, moving fast toward human settlements. Their weapons fired deadly beams, striking buildings and ships. Panic spread among the colonists. Captain Mara stood on the bridge of the Resolute, watching the battle unfold. Her jaw was tight. This was the moment Earth had feared but prepared for. "All hands, battle stations," she ordered. "Defend the colony. We fight to protect our home." Fighter jets leapt into action, weaving through enemy fire. Human plasma cannons unleashed waves of energy. Missiles soared and struck Vorax cruisers, tearing them apart. But the Vorax were fierce. Their ships were tough, and their pilots skilled. They fought with savage fury. On the planet's surface, soldiers hurried to secure the landing zones. Among them was Mira's mother, now a volunteer medic. She moved quickly through the chaos, tending to the wounded. "Stay close, Mira," she said. "We'll be safe here." The battle raged for hours. The Vorax pushed harder, trying to break human lines. But the humans had a secret weapon. It's their new war machines. Massive robotic suits powered by advanced AI moved like giants across the battlefield. They blasted through enemy ranks with unstoppable force. Captain Mara watched as one giant war machine crushed a Vorax tank underfoot. "Fire everything we've got," she said. "This ends now." Suddenly, the tide turned. A massive explosion rocked the Vorax flagship. It caught fire and began to fall. The humans cheered. Their first strike had succeeded beyond expectations, but victory came with a price. Several human ships were lost. Many soldiers were injured or missing. The colony was damaged, its people shaken. After the battle, alien observers from nearby worlds watched in shock. "How can humanity be so strong?" One whispered. "They fight like monsters." But to the humans, this was only the beginning. General Hart's voice echoed through the command center. "This is not revenge. This is survival. We will not stop until the Vorax threat is gone." Far away, Emperor Jarkon's rage burned hotter than ever. "They dared attack us first," he growled. "Now they will face our full fury." The galaxy held its breath. The war had truly begun. The galaxy was changing fast. After the first battle, humans showed their true strength, a power no one had seen before. On Earth's flagship, the Titan General Hart stood before a holographic map. Red dots flickered everywhere, Vorax fleets and bases targeted for destruction. "We will crush the Vorax," he said, voice cold and sure. "Our weapons and machines will make sure of it." Human engineers worked day and night in secret labs. They built giant war machines, towering robots with armor stronger than any ship. These machines could repair themselves in battle and adapt to enemy attacks. Soldiers piloted them with skill and courage. They called them the Sentinels. Captain Mara tested the Sentinels on a training ground. She watched as one robot lifted a fallen tree and smashed it against a rock, then turned and fired energy blasts, that lit up the sky. This changes everything. She told her team. The Vorax won't know what hit them. Meanwhile, AI commanders controlled fleets from space. These AI were faster and smarter than any human. They planned attacks, defended ships, and reacted instantly to threats. No more slow human mistakes. On the battlefield, the Sentinels marched forward like giants. Vorax soldiers tried to fight back with their plasma rifles and bombs, but they were no match. Human ships fired plasma cannons that could cut through enemy armor like butter in a hidden command center. Earth's leaders watched the battle unfold. Counselor Reed spoke softly. Our technology is a gift from our ancestors. We must use it wisely, but we will not back down. The Vorax were confused and terrified. How could humans be so strong? We must find their weakness, Emperor Jarkon growled. Our warriors will strike harder. Back on the colony, Mira saw the Sentinels in action. They are like giants, she said to her mother. Will they protect us forever? Mother smiled sadly. They will protect us, but at what cost? The galaxy's eyes were on Earth. Humans were no longer just survivors. They were a force, unstoppable, and the war was far from over. The galaxy was no longer black and white. Lines had blurred. Friends became enemies. Enemies found new friends. The humans' unstoppable war machine pushed deeper into Vorax space. But they knew they couldn't fight alone. Across distant star systems, alien leaders watched carefully. Some saw a chance to survive by joining Earth's side. Others whispered dark plans in secret. In the shadowy halls of the Draxan Empire, Ambassador Vec narrowed his eyes. Humanity's power grows. He said to his council, we can stand with them or be crushed like the Vorax. Some argued for alliance, others for resistance. Vec made his choice. We join Earth. Together we survive. Not all were happy. The Elorians, peaceful and proud, watched the Draxan. Betrayal with heavy hearts. We trusted them, Ambassador Yalin said quietly. But desperation makes some sell their souls. Meanwhile, deep in Vorax territory, a secret meeting took place. Vorax leaders argued fiercely. Their losses were mounting, and the human strength seemed endless. We must strike the humans' allies, growled General Carrick. Cut their support, and Earth will fall. Back on Earth, Counselor Reed met with Vec and other alien representatives. Trust is hard, Reed said. But together, we can end this war faster. Some aliens nodded. Others looked away unsure. Betrayal came fast. A Draxan commander led a strike against a Yalorian convoy, destroying ships and supplies. The Yalorians cried out for justice. War changes people, Red said solemnly. But we must hold to our values. On the battlefield, Captain Mara faced enemies on all sides. Vorax warriors and former allies turned foes. Her war machine roared as she fought, hard to protect innocent lives. Mira watched the news from a crowded city square. Why can't everyone just be friends? She asked. Her mother sighed. In war, trust is a rare treasure. As alliances shifted and betrayals cut deep, one thing was clear. The war was no longer just about humans and Vorth. It was a fight for the soul of the galaxy. The stars seemed to hold their breath. The war, which had raged for months, now stood. At a critical moment, at the edge of the Vorax home system, a massive battle was about to decide the fate of a species and, perhaps the entire. Galaxy Captain Mara stood on the bridge of the Resolute, her eyes fixed on the holographic display. Before her, Vorax warships filled the space around their homeworld like a dark storm. Thousands of fighters and cruisers moved with deadly speed, ready to defend their last refuge. But the humans were ready too. The Titan and its fleet approached with their giant sentinels. Plasma cannons glowing, AI commanders calculating every move. We cannot lose this battle, General Hart said firmly during the briefing. If the Vorax hold their homeworld, the war will drag on forever. We must break their will here, Mara nodded, knowing the cost. The first shots fired with a roar that echoed through space. Plasma beams tore through the blackness. Explosions lit up the void as ships collided. The sentinels jumped down to the planet's surface, their giant metal legs shaking the ground as they stomped forward. On the Vorax homeworld, civilians fled, cities burning in the distance. Among them was a young Vorax warrior named Cora. She fought alongside her people, desperate to protect her family. "The humans are strong," she said, firing her plasma rifle. "But we will not surrender." The battle waged both in space and on the ground. Humans and Vorax clashed with fury, but the humans' machines and tactics proved unstoppable. Sentinels crushed enemy tanks. AI commanders outsmarted Vorax fleets. Suddenly, disaster struck. A massive Vorax dreadnought launched a surprise attack on the human command ship. The Titan shook violently as energy blasts tore through its shields. Alarms blared. Crew members rushed to damage control. Captain Mara saw the Titan falter. "We can't lose the command ship," she shouted. "Protect it at all costs." General Hart quickly adapted. "Divert all power to shields. Send reinforcements." Human fighters swarmed the dreadnought, firing with precision. After a fierce struggle, the dreadnought exploded in a fireball. The Titan stabilized. But the damage was done. Both sides were battered. Casualties piled up. The outcome was still unclear. In the midst of the chaos, a secret weapon was activated deep underground. Earth scientists released a new AI system, codenamed Oracle. Oracle was designed to predict enemy moves, control drones, and coordinate attacks with perfect timing. On the battlefield, the difference was immediate. Human drones swarmed the Vorax forces, cutting off supply lines and disabling war machines. The tide was turning, but the Vorax were not defeated yet. Emperor Jar Khan sent his elite warriors on a desperate mission to destroy Oracle's control center. If they succeeded, the humans' advantage would vanish. Captain Mara led a team to defend the center. The battle was brutal. Plasma fire lit up the underground tunnels. Soldiers fell. But they held their ground. In a final desperate move, the Vorax unleashed a powerful bomb deep in the tunnels. The explosion shook the earth. Mara was thrown to the ground, blood on her face. But Oracle survived. Its systems rebooted, stronger than before. Above ground, the Vorax fleet began to retreat. Their homeworld was lost. The war had reached its turning point, back on Earth. Counselor Reed addressed the world. "We have won a great battle," she said, voice steady. "But the war is not over. We must stay strong." Mira watched the speech with hope and fear. "Will this end the fighting?" she asked her mother. "No," her mother replied softly. "But it shows us that even in darkness, there is light afar." Away in the ruins of their cities, the Vorax planned their next move. Their fury had only grown. The galaxy was far from peace. The war had dragged the galaxy into a deep shadow. Cities lay in ruins, planets scarred by fire and battle. The question hung heavy in every mind: what comes next? On Earth, the Council gathered once again. The battlefield victory had been hard won, but the cost was great. Thousands of lives lost, entire worlds forever changed. Counselor Reed looked around the room. "We stand at a crossroads. Do we crush the Vorax completely, or offer them peace?" General Hart's voice cut through the silence. "The Vorax showed us no mercy. They brought death to innocent worlds. We must finish this war." But others disagreed. Ambassador Yolan from the Elorians spoke gently. "War feeds war. If we show mercy, we break the cycle of hatred. There's hope and peace." Talar, the desperate leader who first came to Earth seeking help, now stood quietly at the edge of the room. "I have seen my people suffer," he said softly. "But I have also seen humanity's strength and kindness. Mercy could save us all."
Outside
the council chambers, protests and celebrations filled the streets. Some shouted for total war. Others prayed for peace. Captain Mara sat alone, thinking of the battlefield, the faces of the fallen, and the hopes of the living. Her hand rested on the controls of her war machine. She wondered which path would truly save the galaxy. Meanwhile, Emperor Jar Khan prepared a deadly plan. Mercy is weakness, he declared to his loyal warriors. We will strike at the heart of Earth and crush all who oppose us. Galaxy waited as tensions rose. Would Earth choose destruction or mercy? In a secret meeting, Talara and Reed spoke alone. Your people deserve justice, Reed said. But if we destroy the Vorax, who will protect the innocent after? Talara nodded. We must find a new way. One that ends this war for good. Final decision would shape the future. Peace or endless war. As the sun set over Earth's shining cities, the world held its breath, because the next choice would change everything. The galaxy was silent. Even the stars seemed to wait. On Earth, leaders prepared for the final moment. Would they unleash total destruction on the Vorax? Would they choose mercy, risking everything for peace? Captain Mara stood before a vast crowd, her war machine. Beside her, like a towering guardian, her voice was steady as she spoke. We fight not to destroy, but to protect. Our strength is not in violence alone, but in choosing what kind of future we want. Meanwhile, Emperor Jar Khan gathered his last forces. They hesitate, he sneered. Weakness will be their end. But inside, fear gnawed at him. His humans were unlike any enemy he had faced. The council voted. The decision was close. Peace won by a thin margin. Talar stepped forward to deliver Earth's message to the Vorax. We offer peace. Lay down your weapons. Join us in rebuilding the galaxy. The Vorax were shocked. Some warriors screamed for war. Others, tired and broken, lowered their arms. Then, surprise, a young Vorax woman, Cora, spoke. War has cost us everything. We accept your peace, but only if we all promise to protect the innocent and never start such a war again. Earth's leaders agreed. Treaties were signed. Borders were drawn. But peace came with a price. Many lives were lost. Many planets scarred. The galaxy would never forget, Captain. Mara watched the new dawn rise. She knew the future would be hard, but hope, real hope, had been born. As the stars shone brightly again, humanity's greatest lesson echoed. True strength lies not just in war, but in the courage to choose peace.